Hey guys, hi, welcome back once again. And this time I wish to take up the topic of nature versus nurture, or nature versus the nurturer. And before I delve into the topic, I had asked a few people around as to what they thought of nature to be, what comprised of nature as per them. So I got a ton of answers, and those ranged from somebody saying nature is trees and shrubs and grasslands and the sunshine and the sun rays and the water bodies, the rains, the clouds, um, to the volcanoes, to the other animal species, to the other plant species, to the snow-capped mountains, to a whole lot of other things. But there was not a single person who said, I am nature. Primarily or probably because we somewhere assume that we are the nurturers. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I can't deny that. I am not denying that. But we are also the nature along with being the nurturer. Like everything and like every other species outside of us, that just exhibits itself tad bit differently from our own selves. Which is to say that if we think about it, we are not in a position to say that we will survive for years together without these factors of nature nurturing us. We are in no position to make a claim or to say that, which places us exactly on the same level. So, when we kind of assume that we are the nurturers and not the nature, we are playing a very hypocritical, egocentric game. And trust me, and trust a lot of other people who will tell you that if it is nature versus nurture, nature will always win no matter what. No matter what. So if we are doing a versus game, if we are competing, we are already on the losing grounds. We are already at the losing end of the competition. So, unless we understand, until we understand that we are the nature and the nurturer, along with everything else that is outside of us, we truly, we truly will not be able to do a lot of good towards our own selves, towards our own people, and towards our own planet. We will not be able to do any good, rather. And this realization has been coming to me for the past few weeks, but yes, I got this clarity when this dear friend of mine, when she was robbed. And she's one person who has an easy trust factor, which is to say that she trusts pretty easily, and she's not a person who would live her life not trusting others around her. So yeah, she's also a person who doesn't, or who had not locked uh, her doors before this incident happened. So yeah, she's also one person who would not lock up her cupboards and not put a lock on the main door of her house before she stepped out. And when this robbery took place, she was quite stirred and she was quite shaken, because it was not just a robbery of the money, of the finances, but it was also a robbery of the trust factor. Somewhere, subconsciously, it was also a realization that she cannot trust her own species. And probably, man is the only species that is not able to trust its own species. I'm not sure about the other animals, but I think we are at the top of that food or that trust chain. Yeah, we are the leaders of the pack there, wherein we can't trust our own species. It was also an implication to her that her house was no longer a safe haven for her and her kids. And yeah, as much uncomfortable or as uncomfortable she is in locking up the house before she leaves and locking up the cupboards before she leaves, she is forced to do that because of the way circumstances presented itself before her, because of the way her environment presented itself before her. And that is why I also can say that we are our environment. And that environment can be physical, mental, and emotional. That environment is also our belief systems. So we are our environment, we are not different from it. And probably, had this incident not taken place with her, she would have still carried on working the same way. She would have still not locked up her cupboards. She would still not have put a lock on the main door of the house, which she has now been forced to do. So, yes, when the environment changed, the behavior of the person changed. So, we can't say or we can't make a claim that we are better off or we are above our environments. We are not. We are our environments. We are not even a part of that environment. We are our environment at that point in time. So, to make claims or to say that our environment is everything outside of us, that we have to take control over our environment. Yes, we have to take control over our environments, but we also have to realize that we are the environment. We are not different from it. We are not living away from our environments, our emotional, mental, physical, any kind of an environment. And then to make claims that nature versus nurture, there can be no competition. For if there is competition, the nurturer will not survive. And in turn, the nature will get damaged, will be harmed. Because if one nurturer is trying to harm the other nurturer, the nature in turn will have its repercussions, will have consequences. And then as species, not only humans but species across, we should be willing to bear the brunt of it. I think it's imperative that we realize that we are the nature, we are our environment, and we are the caretakers and we are the nurturers at the same time, like every other factor of nature, like every other expression of nature, that is nature and the nurturer for everything else that surrounds it. Until we do not realize that, we will forever be fighting a battle on the losing grounds. Let's try and understand a little bit more of that. Let's try and realize that we are not separate from our nature. We are the nature and the nurturers. We are the caretakers and we need care at the same time. Let's try and do more of that. Let's try and get to this understanding. And I will see you once again next week. Till then, take care. Stay connected.